November 29th, 1970. Bergen, Norway, a place the locals call Isdalen, Ice Valley. But to those who know its history, it goes by a much darker name, the Valley of Death. A university professor and his two young daughters are hiking through the rocky terrain when they notice a strange, sharp smell cutting through the crisp mountain air. It smells like burning meat. They follow the scent to a secluded scree slope. What they find hidden among the rocks will spark the largest, most baffling police investigation in Norwegian history. A mystery involving secret codes, multiple identities, espionage, and a woman who simply didn't exist. Welcome to Dark Ink Chronicles. Today we open the files on the ultimate cold case, the Isdal woman. When the police arrived at Ice Valley, the scene was chillingly methodical. A woman's body lay on her back, her hands clenched in fists tightly across her chest, a typical posture of someone burned alive. The front of her body and her face were burned beyond any possible recognition. But it wasn't just the gruesome state of the body that disturbed the detectives, it was what surrounded her. The items were placed around the body in a bizarre, almost ritualistic pattern. A half-empty bottle of St. Halvard liqueur, 2 plastic water bottles, a silver spoon, a burned passport, and crucially, a pile of phenomenal sleeping pills. The investigators noticed something entirely terrifying. Every single identifying mark had been stripped away. The labels on her clothes, cut out with scissors, the branding on her plastic bottles, scraped off, the monogram on her ring, filed down. Someone, or the woman herself, wanted to ensure that she would remain a ghost. Days turned into weeks. The police were desperate. They released a sketch of the woman based on witness descriptions. Then a massive breakthrough. 3 days after the discovery, police found 2 suitcases checked into luggage lockers at the Bergen railway station. The lockers had been paid for by the victim. When detectives popped the locks, they thought they had solved the case. Instead, the contents plunged them deeper into madness. The suitcases were a masterclass in deception. Inside, they found multiple wigs of different colors, several pairs of glasses with non-prescription lenses, a tube of eczema cream, and just like at the crime scene, every single tag, label, and brand name had been meticulously removed from her clothing. There was money, Norwegian, Swiss, British, and German currency, but the most valuable piece of evidence was a small black notepad. Inside were columns of seemingly random numbers and letters. It wasn't a diary, it was a cipher. Norwegian intelligence agencies stepped in. They cracked the code within days. It was a meticulous log of the woman's travels across Europe. M stood for March, N for November. The letters corresponded to cities: Paris, Hamburg, Oslo, Stavanger. The Isdal woman was a phantom moving rapidly across borders during the height of the Cold War. In 1970, Norway was a playground for international spies, particularly near its classified naval bases, and the Isdal woman's travel pattern directly matched the secret trials of the new Norwegian Penguin anti-ship missile. Was she a KGB agent? An Israeli Mossad operative tracking down escaped war criminals? Or a courier caught in a dangerous game? Police traced her movements using the cracked codes. They found that she used at least 8 different aliases: Genevieve Lancier, Claudia Tielt, Elizabeth Lienhauers. She presented forged passports for each identity. Hotel staff remembered her well. They described her as an attractive, elegant woman in her 30s, who spoke broken English, German, and French. She was deeply paranoid. She constantly requested room changes, always demanding a room with a balcony. Witnesses reported seeing her moving heavy armchairs against her hotel door to barricade herself in. In one chilling report, a witness at a hotel saw her talking to a mysterious naval officer. Later, she was heard speaking to someone in the hotel lobby, terrified, saying, "I am coming soon." Days later, she bought a pair of rubber boots. the exact same boots found next to her charred body in the Valley of Death. The autopsy report provided the final disturbing twist. The Isdal woman had between 50 to 70 sleeping pills in her stomach, yet they hadn't fully absorbed into her bloodstream. But the true horror lay in her lungs. The medical examiner found soot particles inside them. This meant she was still alive and breathing when the fire started. Despite all the evidence of espionage, the wigs, the codes, the paranoia, the missing labels, the Norwegian police officially concluded that the Isdal woman committed suicide, a conclusion that no one, neither then nor now, truly believes. Her identity remains completely unknown. She was buried in an unmarked grave in a zinc-lined coffin in case relatives ever came looking, but nobody ever did. The Isdal woman lived in the shadows, and to the shadows she returned. What do you think happened in the Valley of Death? Was she a spy eliminated by her own agency or someone running from a much darker past? Let me know your theories in the comments. If you want more deep dives into the darkest mysteries, subscribe to Dark Ink Chronicles. Until next time, stay in the light.